Hey, what's going on, guys? So I got another review video. This is the QIDI Q1 Pro. It's the printer they just came out with. So I know a lot of people have already done the review, so I'm a little late getting to this, but I was hesitant because I have the X Max 3, and if any of you guys have dealt with, I've heard people say it, and the pronunciation and QIDI? Anyways, QIDI. If I wanted to see how they were gonna come through with the X Max, which their support is really better than any other Chinese company for anything. Honestly, they're really responsive, and they send parts. I've never had an out of the country in any other country support be that tenacious, and really they really stuck with me through this whole X Max 3 thing, and I had just about every problem you could think of with it, and it's actually printing phenomenal right now. I just had to do the toolhead PCB, which they sent me, and that did work. And the only thing is, it's not homing. I don't know why, because it did when I first got it. It's not homing when I first it's not homing when I first start the print, and it's not heating up on its own. So I have to heat the temperatures, and then I have to home it, and then I can start a print, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's still doing really well. So I printed a bunch of these. They fit in my Milwaukee boxes, and then they're labeled for, for what these are M3 countersunk, and then it's different lengths. But this came out of there, and I mean it's pretty strong. I mean, I printed it. I think it was 3 walls and 25% infill, so it took about an hour, and a little over an hour. But I wanted to take it off the print, which it's been done for a little while. I got carried away working on my car, which is why I'm a little dirty. But I wanted to see how they were going to follow through on getting this printer up and running. So the I don't know if anybody else has another QIDI printer, but this in the back where you tension the belts, I changed the belts. I put Gates EPDM high temperature belts in, and then I also put Moon's motors in, because I used the LDO Super Speed on my Voron. So the Moons that came with the Voron, I said, I may as well put them to use, because they're better than the motors that were in there. I thought about putting Super Speeds in here too. I do have like four more brand new ones, but I just didn't want to change them again, honestly, because the mounting brackets, it's all plastic. So the frame is steel, but the mounting brackets are plastic. And once you undo and redo those screws a couple times, you're not going to get them to stay, like they're not. And then the tensioning screw is in there with a heat sink. So I mean, it's like a Voron. You can use it a few times, but like once it gets tension on and off, it's gonna give. And it's injection molded plastic, so it's pretty strong, but it's not strong enough to be able to modify it and not have to make parts. Luckily, they did send me the files. They did send me the CAD files for the 2 back corner pieces that hold the motors. They haven't sent me they're going to send me the idler carriage that goes in it too. They haven't sent me that file yet, but those two I'm probably going to cut them on the CNC out of aluminum, because I've just gone so far with this printer, it doesn't make sense not to finish it. I mean, I could 3D print them in a high temperature material too. Maybe I will in this printer. The one I built, a high temperature printer out of a CreateBot, which was already kind of high temperature, but not like this. But anyway, they did send me the files. They sent me a new board. I changed the MCU on this. They've sent me the USB cable. They've sent me the build plates. They've sent me the new hot end cover with the additional cooling. They put like several extra fans. I mean, I have a whole part of a drawer that's full of extra parts from them, and I have like 4 or 5 hot ends, just so you can see for yourself. I mean, this is all bamboo stuff, but this is all stuff from them. I mean, I did, obviously that's not a fan from them. I put that fan in. Like the BL Touch, I put the probe in it, the orange original BL Touch probe. But they are the BL Touch things themselves. They did send. I mean, they've been amazing. They've been really good. And then I put a regular full size cable chain in there, or 11 millimeter. You know, the smaller boron one. And then I insulated it, obviously, for the high temperature. And I did put another heater in. I just haven't hooked it up because I'm waiting until I haven't connected. The wires are just like loose in here because I'm waiting until the warranty's over, because I don't want to be a dick. Like they've been really helping me, and I've been honest with them about everything I have done, the motors and obviously the carriages. That's why they sent me the files. So I'm not going to do anything that's out of my bounds until the warranty's over. But anyways, I just thought I'd mention that because this is a QIDI printer. I was waiting to see how the outcome of that printer was going to go, and it you know, although I do need to do some firmware software modifications, and they've been trying to help me with that. I have to make the time to really dedicate to doing my part of it. But that's why it's not well, it's mutually not complete, but they're working on it. I'm working on it. So but they've been amazing all the way through, you know, so I can't say enough good things about their support. So anyways, this is the Q1 Pro. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I just opened up the top and took a peek in here, but I didn't even take out this top thing. So it comes with the manual. It's another USB drive, and I got this thing for a really good price. I mean, they didn't give it to me for free to review it. I did pay for it, but I think I paid $400 for it. I got it for a pretty good price. There was like a sale going on, and they did right by me. So a glue stick, there's a scraper, another USB drive, a cable. This is something they didn't send before, is the lubricant for the axes. Did they seriously send that little tiny bit of filament? What the hell? It's PLA Rapid. Is that like even enough to do a benchy? I don't know. That's pathetic. I mean, just don't even put any in here if you're gonna put that. That's kind of insulting. And then a network cable, and this looks like a spool holder, part of one. Looks like the other part. Oh yeah, I've seen this on other reviews. They say it's pretty flimsy, but we'll see. And then there's a few tools here. There's a small flathead. All right, and I don't know what the flathead's for. I don't know what's on there that's a flathead. It's usually hex bits, metric hex bits. Oh, well, they actually put a set of decent Allen keys in here. Not that I need them. I have plenty of these from all different stuff that they come with, but these are actually good ones. I don't remember them sending good ones with the other one. So, and they're ball end on one end, but I don't know exactly what brand these are, but they're definitely not shitty ones. Those are not your average throwaway. And then one single 3D printer nozzle needle, and a 7mm wrench, and 3 of these rubber pads, which my first instinct would be feet, but there's only 3, so I don't know how that would be. Unless I missed one, no? I guess not. All right, so we'll see. And then there's the printer. So let's just put that stuff over here for the trash. All right. Okay. So that's, compared to the other printer from them, that's actually really light. It's not, I mean, it's not all that light. It's not crazy heavy either, but it's in comparison to the X-Max is a big printer. It's a 330 cubed, but the outside of the printer looks like a 500 cubed almost. It's really a big printer. Maybe not 500, but I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I'm not exaggerating all that much. But anyway, this is a welcome surprise to have it be this size. I mean, the build area that you can print on inside is not as big, but it's also not really usually as big as they say it is on most printers anyway. So let's see how it goes. But I've heard a lot of good things, a few bad, but I mean that's to be expected. But honestly, I'm not concerned with the bad with this company because, excuse me, the support is that good. Like, you don't have to be worried about buying a product from them, and if something goes wrong, because they will send you the parts, they'll tell you how to fix it, they'll show you how to fix it, they'll back it up, they really will. And that's been put to the test with me in every way that you could think of, you know, because that printer's been through the ringer. And right now it's those motor mounts are on. I ended up machining parts to hold them together, like a C-shape bracket that holds them in, which actually is working surprisingly well. That's the only reason I haven't taken that CAD file and made a machining process for it yet, because frankly I don't need to. It's running pretty well the way it is. But so it's about what you'd expect if you've seen the other QIDI printers. Is that I don't really like the flimsy plastic door. I would rather see a glass door like a Bamboo, but if that were the case, it'd probably be the price of a Bamboo, and there's not really any kind of legitimate handle. Yeah, it's kind of like you just got to grab it. There's nothing on it to be considered as a handle. That's just my first impression. And it looks like a tiny X-Max. It really does. It's got the same one heater in the same spot, the same fan, probably the same screws holding it down. But when I first got that printer, while it was working, before I started having a lot of problems with it, I actually really liked it because I could print, you know, some of the higher not really high temperature materials, which I've been experimenting with PEC and PEEK and in the printer that I built, but or I rebuilt rather. But I was able to print like nylon and like PA12 carbon fiber, stuff like that reliably, and you know, just whenever I needed to, without having to have a big deal or anything in order to do it. So it was one of my favored printers, and then I started having all these problems with it. Excuse me one second. I started having all these problems with it, and it just became very frustrating because it went on for so long with multiple different issues, and then one issue would get resolved and then another one would come up, etc. And it was, honestly, I can't say anything bad about the support. I mean, I've told you how good they are. I'm not making it up. They really are. But it's still just frustrating when it's a lot of problems with one machine, and it's always down, and it's one of the ones that you don't really want to be down, so it sucks. But you know, anyways, it is what it is. Their electronics are always going to have issues at some point. Not always, but well, yeah, they are always going to have a problem at some point. They all do. I mean, every solder joints break, and you know, electrical connectors, small connectors break. Things just wear over time, especially when it's something with a motion system that's always moving and it's always being worked out. See, people complained about the build plate, how it lined up. I don't know if they changed that. They said that there was one guide in the back, but there's not. There's two. They must have changed it, because I mean, that's really simple. That goes right into place. All right, remove screws. Which ones are you supposed to remove? It looks like the silver ones. Okay, let me get a 2mm. I think that's a 2 or a 2.5. I would use the Allen keys that they just sent, but well, let's see if this is it. I have a 2.5 right here. Oh, and I have a 2 right here. If I would use them, but they're just not as good as screwdriver Allen keys. I prefer the to me. I don't like the angled ones. I do like them because you can put that extra torque on the last turn with the angled part, but I prefer screwdrivers generally. And you can see the J1S is really a game-changing printer. That's why it's sitting there like a big paperweight. So my review on that would be even worse if I were to do it right now. It would be a lot worse if I had to do it right now. After, I don't know, a few months, and it's been dead for a month. So it literally, like it turns on, the light on the switch turns on, the screen, nothing happens. It's literally dead. So that was a worthy investment. He said very sarcastically, do not buy it. Please do yourself a favor and don't buy it. I'm not sure. Okay, I guess the tool head has to be unscrewed on this one. And it's an inductive probe. Oh yeah, I remember they had a multiple bed leveling system. So I'm not going to make a really long video with this. I am going to make a second part of it tomorrow because it's gotten kind of late and I was working on my car and got a little carried away and didn't get to start this until a lot later than I planned, but I just wanted to get it out of the box so I can throw that away and make some more room back in my shop and you know, get it put into one of these bays and you know, at least do the box opening and potentially start a test print if I see where this the hanger goes for the filament. I have a bunch of red filament out because I've been making those things for my pack outs. So I also had somebody say something, saw a review where somebody said something about this top part not sitting flush, but I can see probably why. I don't know if I'm right, but potentially what their problem was, there's 4 rubber grommets in the corners, and you kind of have to like set it in there. And even then, if you don't push it down, it's not gonna seat all the way. But when you do, it seats all the way pretty tight. I mean, it's actually significant. Like, yeah, I mean, it's flexing in the middle, and it's just coming up now, but it's on there. It's in there pretty tight. It's in there pretty good. So I don't see that as a downside. And like I said, this has been out for a little while, and people have had some feedback. So I'm sure there probably were modifications to the original design potentially. I don't know for sure. But I know from the reviews that I saw so far, from first impression, just the front door is still, you know, the same thing that I saw in the reviews, the handle thing. There's not really a handle. I mean, there is a little spot right here. You can grab it pretty easy, but it's flimsy. I don't know how much heat retention you get. I don't think it can compete with glass. I think glass is going to definitely hold more heat, but I would have to put the thermal camera on it, which maybe I will. Anyways, so let's see it turn on. Let's actually turn it on. All right, booting up. So that's a familiar screen. It's probably very similar to the other one. Well, this is the same style of spool holder that goes into the dry box. I wonder if the dry box would mount on here, because I do have 2 of them. It doesn't look like it, no. I also did see that the screen was very slow, and booting up is starting to seem like it's going pretty slow. Maybe it's got not a whole lot of RAM. Okay, English, yes. All right, I've already cut all those off. I already took out the screws. Unboxing, about to move platform. Please make sure the platform is clean and unlocked. Yes. All right, so yeah, it's just those 4 screws. There was 4 M3 socket head cap screws, 2.5 millimeter. 2 on each side. The silver ones, all the black ones stay in place. At least it looks like the rods are greased pretty well, and they sent lubricant with it, so that's a good thing. The same plastic motor mounts though, which probably wouldn't be a problem if I didn't have to mess with them too much, but I just don't like to see it in like a heated chamber in a heated chamber printer, because the temperature up and down all the time is just, I don't know. That's why I built the really high temperature printer out of the CreateBot F430, because it was for the temperature, it was a reasonable price. It was like a little over $3,000, $3,300, because I had gotten the Intamsys before that, which was a nightmare, and that was like almost $9,000, and it was junk. So even with all the modifications I did, I don't think I've spent $9,000. I don't know, I'd have to look, but I know that I did better because it actually works. It works anytime I want. I can turn it on right now, turn up all the temperatures, and it'll heat right up, and it'll print, and it'll work. And it's got a ton of power. It's on external 5160 drivers. It's got everything is heat protected because of all the high temperatures. This is just still doing its wait for the platform and nozzle to be initialized to be completed. Okay. I did see previously, before I had actually seen this in person. Oh, those are the pads that it wipes off on. That's what those are. They're not feet. That makes more sense. I did see about the wiper and the bucket, and people seem to have mixed feelings about it. That I haven't printed with it yet, obviously, so I'll find out soon enough. But I don't think people liked that it had like such a lengthy process. It's making the prints really take a longer time. All right, let's see if this tiny little bit of filament that they actually include, which is really an insulting amount of filament. It really is. It's just, I don't even know if this is going to print a Benchy, but that's exactly what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to print a Benchy and see if this is even enough filament. Just to see, because I'd like to know if they actually send it with enough filament to even print the test Benchy, because that's kind of messed up. I mean, who doesn't send even a half a kilogram at least? I have never seen a printer not come with half a kilogram, especially from a company that has their own filament. I don't know why they did that. I mean, it's not a terrible expense. 1 kilogram is it's like $15 if you get it on sale of PLA. You don't even have to send a rapid PLA. That's what this is supposed to be. That's what it said, PLA Rapido, which I don't know why they even call it that. All right, well, let's see if we can print a Benchy with it or not. Sorry, QID, I don't want to rag on you. You guys are pretty awesome, but it's kind of a stupid thing. Okay, all right, we're gonna go turn that on. Ensure the filament into the extruder. Click the button for loading filament out of the nozzle. Blah blah blah. Congratulations, tutorial finished. Okay, so this is the hot end. Also, I saw that people were saying that it was not very responsive, the screen. I mean, this is brand new. Maybe that's why it is responsive for me right now, but it is. So, and I'm hoping because of the smaller size, it'll heat up quicker. Not only the bed, and the nozzle, but the chamber. Actually, the nozzle on the other one really heated up very quickly on the QIDI printer. And their bed was relatively quick too, so I can't really complain about the bed speed, honestly, either. The chamber, not so much on the other one. Hopefully that'll at least change. I did insulate it, and it's been a little quicker since I did that. But I'm hoping that the smaller size will make a bigger difference. It should. Or maybe I'll insulate this one too. Okay, it's already up to temp. All right, let's see. Is it gonna load? No. All right, push it a little bit more. I guess I wasn't all the way in. There we go. Now it's gone. Now I don't know if their their test benchy is on the eMMC, or if it's in the SD card, or I mean the USB drive, the flash drive. But we're gonna see in a second here. And I also did get the flat, the smooth plate. Oh, I just stuck that right to the nozzle. Well, let's see if it wipes it. I should just left it. See if it wipes it off. Well, there's still some on there. Let's see if it cleans itself. All right, let's go to files. Yep, it does have a benchy in it. Okay, let's print that. Yep, print it. All right, let's see how fast it gets going. So now this is the part that people had complaints about, that I had seen, is that, oh, I dropped some screws. I don't know if this is from that or from something else. I think that's from something else. People had complaints about the wiping process and it taking a long time, so I'm eager to see if I feel the same way. Or maybe they've updated it. They probably, I mean, if people are complaining about it, they probably would. Especially this company, they're actually really good about that. Okay, it's purging in the bucket. The only thing with the heated chamber and the exhaust fan being open all the time, it should have a damper. I'm gonna put a damper on it, but I don't know why they didn't think about that on either of the printers. The exhaust fan being open all the time, and this does have 6mm belts, and the other has 10, probably because of the size. This probably will be fine with that. So already the brush is, the nozzle brush is a little flimsy. I don't know if it's meant to move that way. It probably, oh no, it is. It pulls in and out. Okay. All right, so I guess it is supposed to move that way. What exactly is it doing? Oh, this is what people were saying right now. Okay, I did see that people said that it cleans the nozzle and then it proceeds to move forward, heat up the bed. After it cools down the nozzle, it heats up the bed, which is exactly what it's doing right now, and then gives it another chance to ooze out more before it starts to print, which is a good point. So, you know, most of these guys that review these videos are pretty honest. I can't think of anybody that hasn't been. I mean, I do these reviews, like I bought this printer. Most of them I bought with my own money, pretty much. Most of the stuff that I do reviews on, I bought. I'm not doing it like to make this be like a monetized channel. I'm doing it because I appreciate what other people do, so I'm reciprocating. But so I'm completely honest, but from what I found, you know, I would think that other people would be a little incentivized to give a better feedback, but at worst, really what they do is just word it better. I mean, I'm just a little blunt, but I'm blunt anyway. It's not because I paid for it. I'm blunt one way or the other. But maybe I would say it a little nicer if they were giving it to me for free. I don't know. Probably not. So I think it was just using the inductive probe, and now it's using the bed sensors, which is actually pretty cool. But it is a lengthy process to start a basic print. It's going to probe the bed before it prints. Are you actually serious? Okay, it must be using camp and just doing it where it's going to print, which is a very small space, so it shouldn't take very long. But I mean, it's been 3 minutes since I hit the play button already, and it's still messing around. And the nozzle temperature is dropping continuously. The bed is staying at temperature, but the nozzle's not even on. It's down to 67, 68. Which, I mean, it's not a big deal, honestly. I'm going to use this for smaller, like nylon, carbon fiber functional parts. So to me, it's not a big deal. But if somebody wants to print fast, then you're going to want it to start like relatively fast. I just finished building a Voron, and that printer, I mean, I wrote the macro for the print start G code. So I mean, it just basically goes to temperature, heats the bed. It homes, heats the bed, heats the nozzle, starts printing. So it's relatively quick. But I guess that's because you can make it be quick. Yeah, see, it is doing exactly what they said. It's going up to the front, heating up, and letting a big chunk of filament come out so it can start printing with it. It's kind of dumb. Hopefully they'll fix that in the firmware. That's easily fixable. I mean, you can just... That's a macro, that's all that needs. And it's not printing terribly fast. Well, then it's not going too slow. It's actually going pretty fast. It is. This is saying it's going to be, well, it's saying it's going to be a 15-minute benchy, so let's see. Anyways, to be continued. I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna let this print, and I'll leave it on the table here. And I'll bring you back tomorrow, and or well, later today. It's after 1 o'clock. I gotta get home and go to sleep. But I'll finish the video tomorrow, and I'll let this finish and let it do its thing, and then I'll start the video back up right here with the finished benchy and show you how it came out. And it should be enough for a benchy, I would think, because if it's a 15-minute benchy, it's got to be very... Oh, this was the wrong table to put it on while it's printing, I guess. That's not surprising. This is actually not even mine. It is mine. I bought it, but I bought it for my fiance, and I made her an office here, and she hardly ever uses it, so I put it in here because it like lifts up and down. It's like one of those desks that you can, you know, go like this and stand up and work at it or whatever that she wanted. I just use it to do these videos, and that's why I covered it in PVC, and I can do stuff on it and not destroy it when she wants to use it. But yeah, it's very, they make it very thin infill. That's how they do the benchy that quick. It's just not a whole lot of material inside. But already the surface finish looks pretty smooth, so let's see how it looks tomorrow when it's done. But I'm hoping for the best. Why is the time changing so much? Now it just said 12 minutes remaining, or 13 minutes, and now it's saying 47. And 7 minutes has already passed. It should say how long the print actually took when I get here in the morning. So I'm eager to see what that number is. But I'm gonna cut the video here and get out of here and go home and get some sleep. And I will finish this up with you guys in the morning. I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Have a good night, guys. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon. Well, it's just barely afternoon. So I just got back to my office to check on this print, the benchy. I haven't taken it out yet. It looks pretty good. Let me bring you a little closer because it looks like you probably need to be to see it clearly. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got. So, well, that barely even was stuck to the bed. I didn't glue it or anything, and it stuck pretty well. But here's the benchy, just so you can see. Like, I'm going to try to show you pretty close to the detail. This thing has a Zeiss lens, so it comes in pretty clear, but I may have to zoom in. All right, and then let it focus. Do I have the autofocus on? Let's see. I'm not sure if I do or not, but let's see. Menu. Set up. I can't really do anything while I'm in the video, but anyways, just trying to make it more clear for you guys. But yeah, it won't let me do anything while I'm shooting. So I'll if it doesn't come in clear enough when I look at it, I'll redo it. But I really wanted to get you guys the actual video when I took it out so that you could see I'm just literally taking it out from yesterday. So let's see what the screen says. Yep, finished, completed, 22 minutes, 0 hours, 22 minutes. So that's what the original one said. It was 22 minutes for their benchy. So you can see. So yeah, 22 minutes. It's not bad, even for one with not a lot of infill, and the quality is pretty good. So I'm sure with an STL that I make, that I do a little more work on, I can make it come out even better. But the real test is going to be some higher temperature filament, which is what I'm going to do next. Oh, and the amount of filament they send you, surprisingly, could probably do 2 or 3 benchies, because I did 1 and there's all this left. So at least 2, maybe 3. What I'm going to do is unload it, and I'm going to put in some, I haven't decided yet, either PET carbon fiber or PA12, PA6 carbon fiber, one of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a QIDI branded filament or not. I may use, maybe I'll try the ABS glass fiber, because I've been using a significant amount of that, or polycarbonate carbon fiber is what I really use the most, or glass fiber polycarbonate, or even polycarbonate tough in some applications, and it's been working really well. So let's go to, oh, and then there's supposed to be a QIDI app, which I haven't even downloaded. I'm going to try to download it right now. So I'll show you if it's actually, I have an iPhone, so this is in the App Store. So I'm just going to type in QIDI, search. Yep, there it is, QIDI link. All right, so let's try that. We're in North America, confirm. Okay, add my devices. You should find 2. Oh, I have to log in first. Okay, let me just log in real quick. Do I have an account? Account, let me do account registration. And password. Create account. Oh wait, what's that last one say? It said verify password, didn't it? And what's set the send code for? Oh, no, I have to get the code or it won't work. Okay, so it's been sent. I have to get that verification code from my email. There it is. That was quick. Okay. 221104. Create account. Okay, perfect. Login successful. All right. Device. Add devices. Okay, there's 1. Confirm. Complete. Okay, so it connected one of them. I don't know which one. It's probably this one. I don't know if the other one's compatible. Also, I did get the smooth plate, and I ordered a bunch of filament, but I ordered them separately because the girl that I deal with there advised me to do it that way, because the discount was, they offered me a discount on the cart, but the cart, they said just do the printer in there and do the filaments in a separate purchase, because the filaments are there's a better sale on them on the website than, you know, the percentage that you would get. So that's what I did. I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. I should do that. And that's what I did. And it worked out well. Oh, is this that's the X-Max 3. Okay, so let's try to add another device. I'm surprised that one linked first. Let's see. Add printer. Oh, did I even connect this to the network? I don't think I did do that yesterday. No, it's got to be in settings. Network. Connection settings. Wi-Fi. There we go. CJ's printer network. All right. Is there an exclamation point? There we go. Okay, now that should be connecting to Wi-Fi. So this is the smooth plate, and it's also textured on the other side as well. Okay, connection successful. So now let's try to add it. All right, let's do add printer now. Okay, let's see what the IP is. Okay. 0.1.10.76. Oh yeah, that one came up. Okay. So now I have both of the printers on here. That's pretty cool. So this has a camera in it, right? Yeah, it does have a camera. Let's see. Okay, I have to switch printers. There we go. Oh, no, that's that one. So let's just restart it, just in case it needs to be restarted. Oops, no. I'll probably just shut it off and turn it back on. So because the switches are all in the back, I usually use those WISE switches, and then I can just tell Google to turn on what bay, like bay 1, bay 2, bay 3, bay 4, bay 5, bay 6. Or the ones over there, I just name it by the printer. Hey, Google, you know, turn on create by high temperature, or turn on, you know, Xmax, and it works. So you never really have to reach it back there for the button that way. Well, it seems to be booting up a little bit quicker than last time. So this is the smooth plate, and has the, I think I already showed you, but I think there's a film on it. Yeah, I have to pull the film off when I'm ready to use it. All right, yep, it's connected to Wi-Fi, so that should work. Now let's heat it up. Let's do this, 210, and it says max 350, which is a good temperature for a printer in this price range for sure. It's a really good temperature. And this is saying, no, that's the wrong printer. We're going to try that printer. Reconnect. Nope, not this one. Oh no, this is the wrong IP address I'm putting. 76. No, it keeps going to the other one. I don't know if maybe you can only go to one at a time. I have to look more into the app. I'm sure there's a way to get the interface to work that way. Settings. I'd probably have to shut the other printer off maybe, but we'll see. All right, and then I'm gonna unload. Let's replace filament. Next, automatic unload. Let's see what that does. And then I'm going to pick a higher temperature material, like a PA12, PA6, maybe a regular nylon, or a probably PA12 or maybe PET carbon fiber. That's another good one. Or the ABS. I might do the ABS carbon fiber because I've been using, or glass fiber, because I've been using that for a lot of stuff. So it unloaded it on its own pretty darn well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm that, because I'm going to need a higher temperature for the other filament. So let's actually unload this one from one of my bamboo printers. Let's close that, and let's go to ABS glass fiber and unload. Oh, that was quick. Yeah, these bamboo printers, man, they're like, there's just like nothing you have to worry about doing with them. You can just hit print and depend on it printing correctly and doing very dimensionally accurate prints every time. Also, I did pick up the QIDI Scan Raptor. I got the Otter, and then I wasn't real happy with the results, so I ended up getting the Raptor. This is what I was hoping for when I got a scanner. It figures it has to be more expensive, but this compared to like a regular blue laser scanner, and what I've seen of the prices is like $10,000 to $15,000, and that was $1,500, so it's well worth its money, especially when you see the resolution you get. You get some pretty incredible resolution. Yep, it's working okay. Matter of fact, I think I'll take this dry box over there as well, because I try to keep this stuff in a dry box while I'm printing with it. Oh, the plug is over there, but I'll just keep it in this. I'm going to put some of the nanopolymer adhesive on it while I use this stuff. And I'm not even sure what I'm going to print yet, but I want to see it print with this. So I should have a short PTFE tube over here. I thought it came with a couple PTFE. Maybe I'm imagining things. Yeah, let me grab a piece of PTFE tubing. I do have another one of their dry boxes, the QIDI ones. I ended up ordering one with my X-Max and didn't realize that printer had come with one. So I just hung on to it, and I've had it all this time. So maybe now I'll have a use for it. I can use it with this printer. Because I do have a humidity and temperature sensor in the printers, but I'll probably put one in the dry boxes just to see how well they work. All right, now let's set it to load. We're gonna do load, and this has to be at least 250. Next. All right, heating. I don't know if I'm gonna have to push it further or not, we'll see. And then once that loads, actually while it's starting to heat up, I'll just come and pick out a file to print. I don't really know what I could print that I'll use right now, but let's see. CPAP ducts, I don't need that for this printer. I do have a beacon, and I did get as far as to, oh, this is already heated up. I did get as far as to getting it to actually work with the QIDI printer. But there was so many macro things that I didn't have a full grasp on quite yet that I wasn't able to. Oh yeah, it did grab it. Oh, maybe that's the filament in it. Yeah, but it would need that to push it out, I would think. Let's see. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, it did load. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to try an ABS glass fiber print. I'm not exactly sure what model I'm going to print with it, but at least it'll be high temperature, and I'll set it to have the chamber heater on, so that we can I can show you guys how it does with something, you know, a little higher temperature. Maybe I should do PC carbon fiber only because it's even higher temperature. But anyways, I'll start with this, and then maybe I'll do a PC carbon fiber as well. So I'm gonna find a model, print it, and then I'll bring you guys back when that one's done, and we'll take it from there. Maybe I'll do a polycarbonate too. Okay? All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick clip of the Q1 Pro doing the first layer with the ABS glass fiber, because I'm kind of impressed. It's doing surprisingly well. I haven't done any of the calibration stuff yet. This is just the way that it came calibrated, and just the probing that it's doing before the print is getting a really good first layer. It's getting a surprisingly good first layer. So I just wanted to make sure I got some footage of this. In the camera, it looks like there's a little, oh, maybe it's on the screen here. Oh, no. Let me get rid of that. Okay. It's trying to autofocus lock on something, but anyways, it looks like there's a little dot on it, but it's actually not there. I'm looking at it up close, and there's actually no spot. It must be a reflection, but anyways, it's coming out like a perfect first layer. It's perfectly even across the bed, you know, and this is a good size. It's just a small tool bin, or like a medium-sized tool bin, I guess. I just was looking for something to print to test it with this material, and I can always use extra tool storage, so that's what I decided to do. And it gives a good opportunity to see a big first layer, you know, like not a big first layer, but I mean, for this size bed, it's actually pretty big. It's a good portion of the bed. So anyways, I wanted to just show you guys a brief clip of the actual first layer going down, and then I'll try to get later in the print, or at the very least I'll get it at the end of the print. I'll pick up the video there. All right, see you guys in a few later. All right, guys, I brought you back for one more quick peek while it's going. This is the third layer, and it's heated the chamber. It's at 55°, the bed's at 100, and the nozzle's at 260, which it's really making this material act the way it should, the way you want it to. I did put some nanopolymer adhesive on the bed for adhesive. I don't like using a glue stick because it really like leaves a lot of residue. I mean, this is just liquid glue stick, but it doesn't leave a bunch of crap behind. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys through the actual print. It's coming out really good. As you can see, I'll zoom in so you can see it up close. And it prints pretty fast. It's once it gets these layers right across. I mean, obviously it's moving pretty quick for these layers too, but it moves even. I don't know if it's the shorter movements, but honestly, I feel like the X Max moves even faster. I think it actually does move faster. I'm pretty confident it does, which is surprising. I thought the smaller one would actually be able to be quicker, but it may be the belt size, or I'm not sure what other factors, but the acceleration is much lower on this one. So maybe it's for precision. That might be why. Maybe they have the precision, the speeds up too high on that printer. I'm not sure, but it does print well at those speeds when you get everything right. But it takes a lot of tinkering if you're not a guy that wants to mess with your printers. It's not probably none of these are for you. But this one right now, their newest one, seems like you can just take it out of the box and print. I mean, not seems like, you can just take it out of the box and print, because I did. I didn't even mess with this. I haven't done any calibrations at all. I haven't, other than what it does before print. Like, I haven't even gone to the calibration page on the printer to tell it to, you know, do a bed mesh or any of that kind of stuff. This is how it prints, literally straight out of the box. So it's impressive. I'll be back when this is done to wrap it up. Hey guys, Chris here. So I wanted to wrap up the QIDI Q1 Pro video. So I was going to bring you guys back when I had this finished, but I did take some clips of the first layers going down. This is just like a tool bin, ABS glass fiber. And I like this material because this is good. It comes out really hard and solid. It's not quite as resilient as polycarbonate with carbon fiber or glass fiber. or the PC Tough even. But it's a lot less expensive. Bamboo Labs has this stuff for 30 bucks a roll. So I had bought 2 rolls, a red and a blue, and I just ordered 2 black and 2 blue more because I like this color blue. I'm actually going to use this for the outside parts of my Voron. And speaking of that, after I printed this and finished it, this is the complete project the print that I did of that little tool bin. And it's very solid. This is actually QIDI brand. I didn't have any black bamboo yet. I ordered a couple rolls now, but then I did a Stealth Burner hot end cover, and this goes with both the CPAP fan and the Nomi screen. So that's what I have on my Voron. I'll show you my Voron real quick. I kind of did a lot of modification. Oh, it also does the nozzle camera. So this is for the LEDs, the nozzle camera, the CPAP, and the what else is on it? The screen. Let me bring you down here real quick. So this is my Voron tool head, and the CPAP fan goes. Obviously, you can see it now where it goes, and then I put the little PCB for the camera up there with the ribbon cable running down to it. And you know, I did a lot of modifications to this printer, obviously, but the bed is even custom. I did another platform that is a 5/16 aluminum sheet that I cut, and I made the holes in the same place to mount it, but I had to work around the holes that connect the top and the bottom plate are in a different, the original plate and the bottom plate are in different locations because of, I put a bigger bed heater. I put a 750 watt, and I had to use the holes that were in it so I didn't short anything out. So what I did is I custom cut a new piece of aluminum to mount to the 2 extrusions that hold the bed, and then I made new holes and countersunk those holes in the bed where that screws into the other aluminum sheet. So it's sandwiched, I insulated both of the 2 plates and have the bed heater sandwiched in the middle, and it's a 750 watt. So this thing heats up, the bed heats up faster than the nozzle. It really made a huge difference. The insulation makes a tremendous difference with the bed, I have to say. I did add 2 of the smaller bed heaters to this printer that I rebuilt. So you guys probably, if you've seen any of my 3D printer stuff, you probably saw stuff on me rebuilding this CreateBot. When I did the bed, I insulated everything, obviously, because this is a really high temperature printer, but I did 2 additional bed heaters. And this and both of these 2 printers have every single axis on 5160 drivers. This printer has 2 external 5160s for X and Y on a 48 volt power supply, and it has one 5160 Pro step stick for the Z axis, which is on a large motor because of the torque, because of the size of the bed and the lead screws. This has all 6 5160 Pro drivers. So I like those so much better. The movement is so much more precise on the 5160 drivers, and it makes a little bit more, or a little bit different sound. I guess the 2209s are probably quieter, but they're nowhere near the power and they're nowhere near the precision. So you can kind of hear. You can kind of hear the difference, and then this one is even a little bit louder. It's a higher amperage. Anyway, I can't say enough good things about the 5160 drivers, but that's my point, is that I actually like this color blue better, and the dimensional accuracy for a $400 print or $450 printer is nothing short of impressive. Frankly, mind-blowing. I mean, it's really accurate. I'm going to show you close up in just a second here. I'm going to bring you back over here. So I like the tone of the blue. The other one is all polycarbonate. I used all polycarbonate because it's a more resilient and temperature resistant material than ABS or ABS glass fiber or any other ABS. So that's why I used it on all those parts. But I'm going to use this stuff on most of the parts that are just that color for an accent color more than the temperature resistance, because it doesn't need as much temperature resistance as the other parts do that are closer to the hot stuff, and because I like the color better. I like this is more of like a royal blue. The other one's closer to like a baby blue. But anyways, the Q1 Pro, this is a very impressive. I mean, this came out really well, but this is impressive. This had no support. This just came out like this, the way it is. And again, I still have done 0 calibration on this printer. So even the things that other people pointed out that are true, it does clean the nozzle and then go up front and heat up and drip a little bit of filament. But that little bit of filament doesn't get in the print, and it's not anything that I would even make note of. I'm only making note of it because it was brought to my attention before I even got the printer. But I wouldn't even have made note of it otherwise, because it's really irrelevant. It doesn't end up in the print. I mean, where's that piece that didn't go in the bucket now? I mean, who cares? The bottom line is it prints incredibly well. I have a hard time believing even the Bamboo Labs could do any better than this. And I actually am going to print one in the same material on my high temperature printer to see if it can do any better. Just because I want to know. But this printer, for the price that it is it's pretty impressive that it is the price that it is. It's really, I mean, don't get me wrong, like the materials are the materials. It's flimsy plastic instead of glass. I mean, I think that this company should offer a premium product. I think they should make something more along the lines of a Bamboo Lab, like say this printer, slightly bigger, maybe a 300 cubed, but with aluminum panels, a steel frame, aluminum panels, glass door, glass top, like, you know, with premium quality materials, and charge a price that's appropriate for that, you know, and a better quality hot end material, like not this cheesy plastic. Like this is a product that has a market. This is definitely a good printer, and it's an incredible value for the money. It really is, in my opinion. I think this is a really great value for the money, because if you don't want to like build your own printer like the Voron or any other printer for that matter, and you just want to buy something that will work, I'm going to do like a longer term review. I've only done a handful of prints on it so far, but what I have done, I'm really impressed with. So, you know, I haven't really given the seal of approval, in my opinion, to too many printers on the market. One of them was the X-Max, which I still do. I stand behind, but you have to be willing to fix it, because it's imperfect and it needs fixing. That being said, they will definitely help you. They will definitely send you parts. They will definitely help you fix it. You're not on your own by any stretch of the imagination. They have by far the best support I've ever experienced. But you will have to do some fixing to it. The Bamboo Labs print phenomenal right out of the box. The only thing is the multi-material you're not going to get with this. I really don't care for that too much. I've only done it a few times experimentally, and even on the IDEX printers, I have a Raise 3D E2, and then the big paperweight snap maker. I mean, the only thing I really did usefully use them for was printing two things at the same time, which you could just use two printers. I mean. And frankly, it's faster to use two printers, a lot faster, like half the time. Because even though that was a faster printer when it did print than most IDEX printers, the Snapmaker, it had so many problems and then just died in like a matter of months. like only a couple months. It's not like nearly a year, like 2 months it lasted, and I didn't even print on it a lot. I was using most of these other printers. Anyway, the bottom line is just go with one printer that works. I mean, even the CreateBot, when I rebuilt it, there's only one extruder on the tool head now, and none of it's the same. The whole motion system is different. Every single bit of electronics except for the chamber heater that I added 4 more to is different. So there's no CreateBot left in that CreateBot. That's a ChrisBot. But this is a printer you can buy off the shelf and just print what you need to print, and you're not going to get high temperatures, but 60C in the chamber for under $500 is crazy. It's unheard of other than them. I mean, the K1C is sitting right there. It's going to be next to it. It's a similar price. I actually paid a little bit more for that than I did for this. And to me, that's mind-blowing. I would get rid of it right now for another one of these. I'm actually going to try to do that. I'm actually going to list it and see if I can sell it. If I can get $500 for it, I'll buy another one of these. I would totally rather have one of these than that. I wanted to give Creality a shot, and it's not a bad printer. It's a good printer. It's just not as good as this. And it's not even just the active heating. It's nowhere near as good as this. It can't print this well. I don't even know that it probably could print this material, but there's no active heating, so it's not going to print it as well. It may warp. It's definitely not going to come out like this. Let me show you closer how this actually came out, just so you guys can see, like, for yourself how actually accurate this is. It's not really focusing all that well, but let's see. I probably just need to hold still for a minute. Let's zoom back out. There you go. So now when I focus on it, this thing's got a Zeiss lens. It's actually very clear when I get it focused properly. But you see how accurate that came out? It's really, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Don't mind my hands. I've been working on my car for like 3 days. So I'm impressed with the printer. I really am. I'm definitely glad that I bought one, and I wish I hadn't waited for them to stand behind the QIDI X Max, because they had stood behind it the whole time, so I don't know what I had that make them prove. That was kind of a stupid move on my part. I should have just ordered it, because this is a good printer. When I ordered the K1C, I didn't even know that QIDI was coming out with another printer. Had I known that, I probably would have waited and bought one of these. And in hindsight, I should have, but I'm not knocking them. It is a good printer. And also, I'm really not knocking them because their Raptor 3D scanner is really impressive. I'm going to do a review on that pretty soon, because I'm actually like playing with that, doing some things with that. And I did a scan and print of the Orbiter extruder, and it came out so accurate from scanning it with that scanner. Literally every screw has every detail in the screw, even the threads. It's absolutely incredibly accurate. It's mind-blowing how accurate it is. It's very impressive. It's $1,500, but that's like, the blue laser scanners are in the thousands, like $5,000 to $15,000. For $1,500, you're getting a scanner that you could literally, like, this is the type of thing that dentists use to scan your teeth when they 3D print you a tooth. It's impressive. It's very impressive. So I can't knock Creality at all. And their support, I got the Otter before the Raptor, and I wasn't very impressed with it. I had a problem with it showing the camera feeds. It would show them during calibration, and I know it wasn't the computer because I have 2 workstation PCs that both have dual Intel Xeon processors, over 300 gigabytes of RAM, over 20 gigabytes of GDDR5 on Quadro graphics cards. There's just no way that it was the computers, which is what their implication was at first, until I told them the specs on the computers. And obviously that wasn't it, because also you could see the video perfectly clear during calibration. And then when you go to scan something, none of the picture was coming in. I did end up getting it to work, but when I did, I was less than impressed with the scans, and it had trouble tracking. It's standard stuff for infrared scanners, but this blue laser scanner, it may not be as good as the $10,000 and $15,000 3D scanners, but I'm not spending that kind of money on a 3D scanner. I think I got it for $1,400 on Amazon. For $1,400 or to $1,500, that is incredible precision. It's really, that's really what I was expecting when I first tried a 3D scanner, and I didn't get it at all, and by any stretch did I get it. But now I'm getting the accuracy I was hoping to get previously. I tried, there's another major brand, they make like the mini thing, the RevoPoint. I tried the RevoPoint Mini and the Mini 2, and then I tried the Creality Otter, and then I sent all those back and I got this one. And I should have just gone for the better one in the first place. They didn't have this out back then until with the Otter they did, and I got that and sent it back and got this one because, again, these are not things that I'm being given to review. I'm buying these things and doing those reviews for feedback for you guys before you go and spend your money on them, because I'm going to buy them either way. So I may as well tell you my experience so that you can use it. You know, you can use it to know whether, you know, some information, a little more input on what you're going to spend your hard-earned money on before you spend it, because that's the same reason I watch the videos myself. So I'm just contributing back what I'm getting. So anyways, I'll do a review on that, and we'll talk more about it at the time. But for right now, this printer I highly recommend. I really, at this point, and I've only had it for a week approximately, and I've done a handful of printing on it, and it's all been impressively accurate. And there's been no quirks. There's been no, like, for instance, with the X-Max I showed you in the beginning of the video, I have to heat it up and home it before I start the print. Nothing like that. I just hit send to printer, it sends it to the printer heats up, it does everything the way it's supposed to. So they really did, you know, fix up their firmware and their user interface, because I've had no problems with this, and I've been using it. This is going to be one of my go-to printers at this point. It really is. This, and then my other high temperature printer, and my Voron has already a heated chamber, excuse me, and I'm going to insulate the inside of it. So that's going to be about this temperature printer. It's got one similar heater. It's slightly more powerful than the one that's in this, but it's a similar setup, just a lot more motors, a lot more, you know, customizability, which is why I wanted to build one. But anyways, for you guys that want to buy something that works out of the box, that you can just literally take it out, plug it in, and print, that's exactly what I did with this. I have still not done anything more than that. I know I've said that already, but I'm impressed myself, because Bamboo is the only other company that I've been able to do that with. I did that with the X-Max, and it just only lasted for so long. But I think that they rushed that printer because of Bamboo and you know, their dominance of the market at the time, and really still today. But I think that's why that came out the way it did. But they've also made that right by standing behind it, by helping all of us who bought it fix everything that happens, to the extent that, you know, they actually refunded me $500 on top of all the stuff that they sent me. They sent me a new MCU, which I actually saw another reviewer say that he had a blown board and they wouldn't replace it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, unless he did something, like he had to have done it himself or done some other modification to make them not want to replace it, because they willingly, it was their suggestion. They thought it was the board. I didn't think it was, because all the lights were on, nothing had been burnt out, there wasn't any reason for me to suspect it. They didn't even ask for the old MCU. I mean, they've really stood behind it, and they gave me $500 back because I've been dealing with so many problems with this printer. All the time I've spent, they gave me $500, and plus I paid a lot more than it costs now. I think it's like $800 now, and I bought it when it was like $1,150 or $1,200. So regardless, they sent me back $500. They refunded it to my credit card. I would even show you if I had it pulled up, but just to prove a point, because they really have backed their product up more than I've ever seen. Even even American companies, most of them, a lot of them are that good, but like there's a lot that are not that good. There's a lot of companies, American or from any other country, that are nowhere near this company in backing up their product. This company has got that part nailed, really nailed. Support, after sales support is on it. They really are. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a time difference. You're going to wait, a day to get a response, but you'll get a response and you'll get a solution and you'll get the parts and you'll get what you need. So just give them, be a little patient and be a little understanding that they're in another country where it's the opposite time, the opposite hours of us. So they're in the middle of the night is during the day there. So just be a little understanding. But other than that, they will definitely back up their product for 110% sure. Anyways, I've been raving about their support ever since they made everything right with me with the X-Max, and they haven't stopped since then. They've been doing more and more and more, and they're eager and interested to hear the feedback from customers. I had thrown out there, because of the tool head board going recently, I said, why don't I just wire everything to the MCU? I'm not asking to do it on my own. I'm telling you, and I'm saying, why don't we collaborate? And I will, I'll run all the wires right to whichever pin numbers you want me to put them to. I mean, it's only, 4 2-pin JSTs, a 2-pin Molex, and a 4-pin JST. I can make those wires, crimp them and run them and crimp the other side and plug them in wherever you want me to. And that'll be that. And then just tell me what pin definitions to change, and we'll get it working that way, because my high temperature printer, and in any high temperature environment, I've found that to be the most reliable way to do it. And they were interested to the extent that they were going to have their engineers, put something together to do that. But their engineers were already doing other ideas from other customers, which is awesome. I mean, I want to support that company. So when they start coming out with more printers, I'm going to buy them, because I like that. I like that they take feedback from their customers. They want to hear it. They want to improve their products, and they will support anything that they didn't get to before you bought it. So you never have to worry about it with this company. So I can't say enough good things about them that way. And they have obviously been taking feedback and using it between the last printer I bought and this one, because this one is just working. It hasn't had a problem yet. I'll update it. I'll do a follow-up review in a couple months and let you guys know how it is after 2 or 3 months. But between now and then, I'm just going to use it, because for small parts that are 250 by 250 or less, and that are mid temperature materials that I use a lot of, I don't use hardly any PLA. I use almost all, ABS, ASA, polycarbonate I use more than anything, polypropylene. I use a lot of mid-temperature materials, and then some high-temperature materials like PPS and PEKK and PEEK and all that kind of really, really expensive but really resilient and high temperature materials. Like the hinges for the door, I put that fridge door, I printed those in PPS, high temperature nylon. It's extreme temperature nylon. You print it at 315 on the nozzle, you print it at 120 degree bed and 80 degree chamber. So it's too hot. Well, it would probably still print in this or the X-Max. It might just warp. I don't know if it would stop the warping at the temperature that these can get to. Maybe I'll try it just for the hell of it to see if it does. But I know in the bamboo it warps pretty badly. They do print it very well, but the warping, it can't stop the warping. You need more heat. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. But this printer has by far got my seal of approval for whatever that's worth. I mean, I'm no expert in this field, but I do have a lot of experience at this point from, indulging myself into it. And that experience is telling me that they've definitely put a lot of time, like I did, into the printers I built into this printer. And they've definitely developed over the years into a much better company. And I I really would love to see them grow and go further and come out with some better product, nicer products. You know, not better, because this thing really prints really well, but some nicer, like higher end products. That's something I'm going to throw out there to them. Not that I know that they're going to listen to me, but they listen to all of us. So if you guys have a QIDI printer and you communicate with their support, they really do listen. They really do take the feedback. It's impressive. It's a really good company to be a part of and to support. So you guys should really look into. I mean, you can take my word for it or not, because I have no incentive. As I've said, they don't pay me. They don't send me free stuff. I got discounts on this, but like no discounts that anybody else couldn't have gotten. So there's no reason, there's no incentive for me to like say any of this stuff fabricated whatsoever. It's all 100% legitimate, 100% my personal experience with this company. And when it was a bad experience with this company, if you watch my first video from the X-Max, it was not this kind of feedback. So they turned it around with me. So that just goes to show you, I'm gonna be brutally honest no matter what happens, and they have really made a believer out of me. So give them a chance to make a believer out of you. But anyways, that's it. And also it runs clippers, so for the guys that do like messing around with their printers, you can do that here too if you wanted to. So this is really a good all-around printer for everybody. And I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, I have my own projects going, so I don't really want to mess with the printers I buy. But then again, at some point, I probably will want to mess with them when I get around to having time to mess with another printer. So I can when I want to with these. So that's another huge bonus for guys like me, or even more into it than me. For people that are not into it at all, this is a perfect printer for them too, because you don't have to do any of it. You could just use it the way it is, and it works really well. So that's that. This thing gets 2 thumbs up from me. All right, have a good day, guys.